I had many problems with the Sphere. Now, we knew it was going to be better than the regular pay-per-view card that the UFC does. But what we also knew is that no regular fan was going to be able to watch in the arena because they'd been priced out completely, and only people with enough money were able to go to the arena live. And what we also knew was that this was going to cost the UFC $20 million. The Sphere was good, but was it $20 million good? That's the question. What I'm going to do in today's video, we're going to go through some of the moments that I enjoyed from the Sphere. I'm going to give it an overall assessment. And then we're going to go through some things that I would cut out of this so that we don't have to spend $20 million, but we can get equally as good of an experience as we got at UFC 306. Because I think there's a lot that we can just get rid of. So first of all, the graphics that they were putting on were really cool. The star constellations of Sean O'Malley and Marab, and they're like rotating around in the air. I'm sure this was really cool for people that were there in attendance. You middle class, upper class. I make money now, innit? So it's a little different, you know what I mean? I'm one of the boys now. Okay? Either way. But, you know, all of these richies in the crowd, I'm sure they had a great time. Gordon Ramsay was sat way up in some of the back seats. But it looked really cool. It really did. Something I also liked about this was the tail of the tape. I think they show that in this one as well. They've got Ronaldo Rodriguez dancing here on the monitor. And as you can see, it sort of goes to the tail of the tape. And they've got these guys up there as like avatars of themselves on the tail of the tape, which I thought was really cool as well. So there was a lot I really enjoyed about it. You know what I mean? These are things that can be replicated again, but maybe don't need to be, there's other things we don't need to spend a whole bunch of money on. I'm sure this can be done again in the Sphere on a more regular basis, maybe once every few years, but do we need what Dana White spent a lot of the money on? Okay? This was really cool as well. They had all of these graphics, and it was all like, Mexicans have eagles, did you know? And there's eagles in Mexico and stuff like that, and there was really cool graphics going on and short films about Mexico, and that's one of the things I think we can cut out in the future to save a lot of money. But it was cool. You know what I mean? It really was. I honestly believe, I don't know if anyone else is on board with me here. Let me get a good shot of this so I can even show you what I'm talking about. But you see these monitors that had the fights on. I really did believe that the whole back of the Sphere wasn't going to be some like Aztec temple type environment. I thought it was going to be a massive, giant, huge screen video of the fight. I didn't think there was just going to be two jumbotrons, as they call them, up on that big backspace that they had. I thought there was going to be a giant projected screen of the fight, and maybe those jumbotrons would sort of fade away. Make way for all of these graphics of them showing off the Aztec temples and like the cloud area, and I think they had like a desert region and then like an inner city of Mexico at one point, and those were the environments that the fighters were fighting in. I thought it was going to just, once the fight started, I thought the whole thing was going to be a giant screen of the fight, and that would be really cool. And then we could sort of cut back to this type of stuff when the fight was over. You know what I mean? So the fight took priority when it came to what was being seen by the fans. But there were some really cool moments. This is something I just found really funny. Let me allow audio for this really quick, because this just made me laugh so hard. It was a anti-streaming ad that the UFC... This is real stuff, guys. I hate Dana so much for what he's done recently. But man, he's going to be missed, because I don't think Hunter Campbell's this memeable. You know what I mean? This was a real anti-streaming ad done by the UFC on the Sphere. And it was crazy, guys, that they managed to pull this one off. This is another $500,000 down the drain.
They're going to go to fucking federal prison. Federal fucking prison. They're going to go to fucking federal prison. Federal fucking prison. They're going to go to fucking federal prison.
I shouldn't be laughing, man! Why can't I just feel normal for a day, dude? I'm starting to get pissed off. It's all good, though. But that was great. There was other moments here as well, like, you know, we can go through this. this. This was a moment that they were showing, and it was like this Disney World ride experience where they were going through the solar system. Did we need this? You know what I mean? This is the type of thing that I would cut out and save a few million on. You know what I mean? And then they were showing some statues of Mexican boxers. The whole thing was like a big Make-A-Wish to Mexico, you know? And they're showing the city here, and this thick bitch is just floating around in the air in front of it. And I mean, this is great, but did we need all of this? This is good though. I like this. This is the part I enjoy about it. All of these little petals and flowers, I'm sure it's like, if you went to the event, took LSD beforehand, I'm sure this was a great experience, you know? This is what I like about it. If they could just cut out 15 million of the spending from all of the Emmy Award-winning videographers that they hired to do this, and just make it a few million more on top to get this type of stuff, where the two guys are on the screen and they're in the cage at the same time, that would be great. The start of the event was kind of weird because they didn't have any graphics, but this weird, like, scaffolding type looking thing. Like, I don't even know how to describe this, but it's just weird looking. And there was like no graphics being done for the early prelims, which I'm okay with. But at first I was like, what have they done? This is what they spent 20 million of the company's dollars on? No graphics in the background and just the fights on a Jumbotron there? I mean, it's kind of cool, but, you know, I didn't think it was that cool. I think the Sphere was a good experience, but here was the problem I had with it. I wasn't thinking, is this going to be a success based on, wow, it's super cool. That isn't a success. Obviously, it was going to be cool to people that were there. Is it going to be a success for the amount of money that they sank into this? Because they really did sink a ton of money into it. Okay? So here's what I think they should do in the future. $20 million. We can go to the Sphere more often. It doesn't require $20 million, though. It really doesn't require $20 million. We can go to the Sphere more often. I'm going to write it down on screen. Okay? We can do this once every few years, sink a couple extra million into it, and have a Sphere card way more often if they do this, okay? So I'm looking, all right, $20 million. Now we start with no gay pandering. They're already going extinct. They can't start getting picky with what they're fucking. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking. That's not what I mean by no gay pandering. No gay pandering. Well, let's not. Now, I'm not saying that Mexico is interchangeable with the word gay, but I'm just going to change the way I'm wording this, okay? No Mexico pandering, dude. That was something I didn't understand about all of this. They had graphics of like, Mexico, they toiled the land. They hunted animals down. Welcome to every fucking place on earth. What are you doing? The Mexican fighting spirit goes back to it's like the Modelo thing. There's like, I thought that was the Easter egg. You know what I'm saying? I literally thought that was the Easter egg of the card. Oh my God, somebody get to Dana and say, is it Mexican fighting spirit? They said it before every fight, and then a Mexican fighter got the fucking quesadilla knocked out of him. You know what I mean? He had his Taco Bell rung. You know what I'm saying, guys? I'm joking. But either way, the pandering was annoying. It did get annoying because I was like, okay, this is what we're spending the money on. So it's not product. It's make sure Mexico feels great. Now I get why they did it. You know what I mean? Because there's a rapidly changing pop demographic of the US. And Dana and the UFC are thinking long term with the business. So they want to get on their good side early before the Mexicans get on the good side of that wall, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking. But either way, no Mexico pandering from now on. Everybody toiled the land. Everybody has fighting ancestors. Everybody hunts animals. Everybody has fucking candles. Everybody cooks food. I may be saying this as an English person. It isn't great. But baked beans are all right. You know what I mean? Either way. Everybody does that shit. Stop fucking doing Make-A-Wish shit for them. Cut out that. And I'm telling you, you're in the money. That's now we're coming down. I'm going to adjust this every time. Let's cut out that. We're at $19 million. Why is that becoming bigger? How does that work? Here we go. $19 million. Now that we've added no Mexico pandering. Okay? We move on to something else they can change. I should have included a tweet about Kendrick Lamar. I mean, Terrence. There you go. Well, that's a joke in itself. No Emmy Award-winning production team. Fuck, the pressure's on to type. I'm normally good with words per minute. But my hands are all off by one key. It needs to be in the right place, my keyboard, for me to get real quick with the typing. You know what I'm saying? If it's slightly off, I'm slightly off. Every single step of the way. You guys know the game. No Emmy Award-winning production team. Scrap it. You want to know why? Many reasons why. There was a hissing noise during Raul Rosas Jr.'s fight. Terrible sound design. Okay? I reckon this Emmy Award-winning production team got paid millions. So by removing that, I think we're honestly down to about 12. Honestly down to about 12. You know what? I'm gonna think that we're down. I'm gonna chuck in that without more Mexico pandering, we're down to about 12. You know what I mean? That's 8 million gone from the budget because this Emmy Award-winning team, the camera work was regular camera work. Like it was normal. There was nothing different about the camera work that was going on in that Sphere arena. You know what I mean? And they thought Terrence Crawford was Kendrick Lamar. Kind of similar. You know what I mean? But they act like they look nothing alike. Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's kinda. I'm not saying they do look alike, but there's at a glance. No, I'm joking. One of them's fucking 5'2". Either way. Fuck, man. I've said too many jokes. It's all good. This is a risky one now. Either way. They look nothing alike. Okay? Completely different, guys. No Emmy Award-winning production team. They messed up calling Terrence Crawford Kendrick Lamar. The camera work was exactly the same, if not worse. There was a hissing noise. So you know what? Torture. No, I want to get this monetized. Kill sound engineers. They probably got paid millions as well. We're down to about 11. Okay? They probably got paid millions as well. The sound engineers. Hissing during the Rosas fight. Echoes during the walkout. What's going on? O'Malley's walkout was playing. There was legitimately a long delayed echo that everyone could hear. Awful. I'll tell you what happened as well. The cameras that they used for this was so bad. That they literally had, what did they have? They literally had audio being picked up from the corners that was louder than the commentary. We didn't need that. Okay? We really didn't need to hear that. I could hear the corners screaming in a language I don't understand, but now I'm picking and choosing. I wouldn't have been okay if it was English being screamed either, I tell you. And they were the only ones screaming because their fighters are getting the shit beaten out of them. I'm joking. But literally the corner work was louder than the actual commentary. And when they went in the cage, you could hear the commentary a bit better. But then whenever there was a shot where they were looking through the cage at the fighters, like you could only hear the corner work just screaming unintelligible Spanish gobbledygook. Okay? And that's not okay. All right? So we get rid of that as well. What else could we get rid of to save money here? Because I need to save more money because my point will be proven if we can save a bit more money. Get rid of the Emmy Award-winning team. Do it with the regular UFC squad. Kill the sound engineers. Or change them to lower paid ones. Probably a better idea when it comes to saving money. No Mexico pandering. Everybody has fighters in their ancestry. Better card. But that would cost more. So how do I cut this down even more, guys? I wanted to have a bit of a better point here and I haven't thought this one through. Okay? It costs like, just stop, like, just don't pay him, innit? Don't pay him 6 mil. Dana gets beaten up by the mob again. All fair. You know what I mean? That's all good. We're killing the new sound engineers as well. This is a mess, guys, okay? I completely understand, but this is real shit. Let me add... Oh, fuck. Shit video, man. I hate when there's nothing to talk about. Things to do. Let's add... This is a great point, okay? Because they were fucking empty until the main card started. If you buy a floor seat and don't show up until the main card, you will be attacked by, dribbled on by Roast Jr. This is what needs to happen. I saw a bunch of empty seats on the floor. That's not allowed. We got regular fans out here not able to even get a sniff of the event. And these richies have their floor seats for 17 grand or whatever they were paying for them. And then they're just not showing up until the legendary Rodriguez versus Osborne moment. No. You know what I mean? That needs to change as well. There's also some numbers that this guy ran through. He said, new UFC 306 at the Sphere was a massive success, with the UFC investing over 20 million to produce the show. Now, this guy seems to think that makes it a success. I need to know how much it made. Okay? That's what I need to know. That don't tell me it's a success because they invested that much. Event was the first of its kind, with the audience members being able to feel the punches through the haptic feedback in the seats. That's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting, to be honest with you. If that was adjustable based on the power, women's fights, you don't notice it. You know what I mean? Bilal's fighting. Are these things on? You know what I mean? That would have been great. Aspinall lands a punch. There's a fucking ejection button out of the seat and they fly into the roof and die. That's the kind of thing that could be adjustable and we could have some fun with. If blood gets spilled, they spray water out of the seat in front of you. That's not adding to my list here, guys. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing we could work on here. What other things do they do in those movies? I don't even know what they do. If one fighter, like, starts panicking, like, you can just smell shit. You know what I mean? They just spray that pheromone out, maybe. And then here are some insane stats from the event. The event captured 6 chapters featuring short films to create a show based on Mexico's journey. Now, this is what annoys me about the Mexico's journey thing, okay? Because they were doing it on taken land. And that has got to hit hard, okay? Let's celebrate Mexico's independence in this place we took from you bitch asses. That's a backhanded compliment from the UFC if I'm being real with you guys. This might have been a mass propaganda video to convince Mexicans to stay where they're at. You know what I mean? Because it feels like there's a big, Viva Mexico, we fought for our freedom. Let's get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I mean? That was kind of what happened when they got independence. This place is shit. And now they're trying to say, no, it's great. I'll fucking stay there. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they're going for. Seats at the Sphere would vibrate. That's good. Big punches and knockdowns. That's pretty cool. Floor seats were 12,000. None in Marab's fight then. Oi! Fuck. Marab fan. There's Marab fans for a week. They'll be gone in a week. Don't worry. Floor seats were $12,000 to $17,000. Non-floor seats ranged from 1,000 to 12,000. It lowered to 1,000. It was actually way higher. I think it was about 7,000. But they had to lower it to sell out. Which I think is wrong, by the way. That's just wrong business right there. Imagine paying $7,000 to get your ticket, and then you look left of you, and where there would have been an empty seat, there's now a guy there. How much you pay for your ticket? 1,000. That's bullshit. Okay? The sphere measures 366 feet tall. How is that a fucking thing to know? 18,000. Screen features 268 million. I don't give a fuck about any of this. Okay? But this kind of stuff was pretty cool. I reckon this guy's nerding out on some weird stuff. You know what I mean? No one cares, little bro. I reckon we could save a lot of money on this if we kept these key moments. Fuck it, I'm coughing too much, dude. Fuck this whole fucking dumb video, man. I fucking hate having nothing to talk about. Is this the fall off? Is this when the channel dies? Do you want to watch me cook dinner or some shit? Yes, it's 6 a.m. Yes, you may hear birds chirping in the background. There's the video. Yes, fucking enjoy that. You fuck you.